This particular session is exciting for me. When you look at the array of the erudite speaker that will be coming on stage in a few minutes, it would excite you. But this is not for me to stare. We have a capable moderator that will be moderating this session. He's one of my ogas in the industry. He is the deputy editor of Guardian newspaper. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage. He will be inviting the panelists and they will take us through the session, which is titled Media and Creative Arts as Tools for Destination Marketing. Please, with a very, very good love, exciting love heart, welcome to the stage, Mr. Greg Nwakunor. It's given me the honor to invite them on stage, and I'm excited because this, my brother that I'll be calling first, is one person, if not that everybody knows that I'm not gay, they will accuse me of loving him too much. I love him, and I know he loves me too. He's gone around Nigeria taking pictures, the beautiful pictures of this country. Now, let me confess, why do I like this man so much? When I started Inside Watch Africa, I met a young man who was conscript as a Nigerian to take the ugly part of Nigeria because the Oyinbo people wanted to pay for it. They said it must be the ugly picture. But this man takes the beautiful picture of Nigeria, and that's why I'm so much in love with him. Please put your hands together as I bring on stage the CEO of Dayo, Adedayo Photography, Mr. Dayo, Adedayo. This man speaks Anago. If you don't go through him to Badagry, you are not likely to get it right. But if you do, you'll be sure that you know Badagry and you will enjoy your experience of going to Badagry. Please help me welcome to the stage Anago James Adventure, Mr. Anago James. Put your hands together as he comes on stage. If you don't clap very well, Mr. Anago will not come. Clap, 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 clap before he changes his mind. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. Another brother of mine that I love so much, who has dedicated his life and career to selling Nigeria, pushing it and putting it out there so that the rest of the world can see. Please help me welcome to the stage the CEO of Tour to Nigeria, Otumba Michael Balogun. Please celebrate him as he comes on stage. And my Oga, the floor is yours.
How can we harness the potential of media and creative arts in destination marketing?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is pretty straightforward. Unfortunately, you can see the hall is nearly empty because you push the media, which is actually the face of whatever you want to sell, to the last. And in doing that, those that should listen to what we have to say have left. How do we do that? I'm pretty sure everyone seated here this afternoon must have visited nothing less than 100 cities in the world, virtually by not even going into them. How? Through movies, through pictures, magazines, newspapers, and what have you. And with the new social media, you can virtually go anywhere you've never been, and that will actually get you interested into that city or country. And thank you, Sheyi, for the introduction. Virtually everyone here as well knows and seen the bad part of Nigeria. That is where I come into. What every one of us is doing to Nigeria, or mostly the younger ones, It's like calling my mother or our mothers a witch. You know, everybody will run away from your mother. By the time you say, oh, my mother is a witch, oh, my mother is a witch, at a point, people will start running away from you. That is the easiest analogy I can give about, because I'm going to be very specific on Nigeria, which I know very well. And that is what is happening to Nigeria. A lot of people criticize Nigeria. They do not see anything good in this land. And when you come across something good, they will be arguing with you. Are you sure this is Nigeria? And that is what happened to some of my work. And I'm happy and proud to say something that no one else has ever done in the country before, which people like my bro, Michael, have taken to the next level. He can write without even looking at any image, but luckily the Chinese will say a picture will say 1,000 words. You know, so him seeing a picture which will say 1,000 words, Michael will now turn into 1 billion words. You know, so for me, we need photography, visuals, videos to sell our country. And I can gladly tell you that Nigeria is the most difficult place to photograph in the world. If no one believes me, just take a camera, go outside this hotel, and you want to photograph the hotel, and you'll see what will happen to you. We all know where Hassel Rock is, but how many people have seen the picture of Hassel Rock? I've been writing letters since 2004, even though I have access. Up until this year, I nearly took it, but all of a sudden it was cancelled because someone somewhere said security. And I told him, Oga, go on Google and type Hassel Rock, whether you will see it or not. They've been arresting coup plotters in Nigeria. They've been arresting terrorists in Nigeria. Not a single one of them has been a photographer who took a picture of where to bomb, of what to shoot at, before they do all these things. So, unfortunately, the minister have left. We need to liberalize just like you are liberalizing the air traffic in Africa. We need to talk to our security agencies and paramilitary that taking pictures has nothing to do with security. It's a lazy man's way, it's a lazy man's mentality to say taking a picture, because mobile phones today, you will do more damage than an actual camera. Because if I take a big camera that will take high pixelation, that means I don't have any bad intention. But with my mobile phone, I can do more damage. Since we have little time, I'll rather cede the floor to other people to talk. Thank you.
Otuba.
And I would say, in all sincerity, we've not done well with the media in Nigeria. Just like my big brother has explained so far. I'll tell you some little stories, and maybe a lot of people can relate with this. Growing up, coming back from school every day, the first program I want to watch was Robin Hood. That is media. And the first time I stepped into the UK, far back as 2003, the first port of call I traveled to as a tourist was the Robin Hood Castle. Just that movie alone, that series, informed that decision to travel there. And this is what we've not done in Nigeria for years. I have some list of names of some countries that I wanted to share. And like you said, unfortunately, the minister is not here. This is what we've lacked with what we call media in Nigeria. Like Harry Potter was filmed in London, and the gross profit that came to that movie because of the location, because people visited, was 5.3 billion. In New Zealand, The Hobbit is another popular blockbuster movie. It grossed 1.6 billion from tourists visiting, US dollars. And Braveheart 2 from Scotland grossed 47 million. And the best one of them, and I'll say this, is Croatia. How many people here in the hall hear about Croatia every time in the news or anywhere? But when they started shooting the Game of Thrones season 5 to 8, from 2013 to 2018, that country alone grossed 203 million from tourists visiting. Have we used our media to generate that kind of traffic in Nigeria? Look at the new movies from Kunle Afolayan, the Anikula. He has a movie, village now in Oyo State. How many people here even know about that? How many tour operators really know about these destinations? So when you're talking of media, it should be something to leverage on. Half of the movies of James Bond, the different series, has been shot in different locations, from Morocco to Egypt to Rome. And they've used this to generate revenue for their country. So if we have locations in Nigeria that people don't get to see, you find out that most musicians, back in the days, they'll go to Dubai, they'll go to South Africa to shoot movie. You're encouraging capital flights. You're going to get people dancing with legs in your video. But we don't dance with legs in Nigeria, but most of those videos you see then, it's because they were shot in South Africa. And the choreographers are South Africans. So in short, with our media, we're not really using most of these assets to promote what we have in Nigeria. Because if you look at most of these destinations that they shoot movies in Nigeria, they won't even put under the caption to say, oh, this was shot in Jara Beach, or this was shot in Inagbe. When Kunle Folao did a video, a movie there, CEO, a lot of people didn't believe it was shot in Nigeria because of the resorts. People don't see this. People buy what they see. I remember there was a video Davido did one time too. It was in Kajuru Castle. I bet 80% of people sitting in this hall don't know about Kajuru Castle. That there's a castle in Kaduna that you would think you're in Switzerland. And the Northerners have been using that particular castle for wedding, pre-wedding shoots and everything. But if you see that video, you'll never believe it is in Nigeria. This is one of the reasons I've said media has not helped us in this country.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me. Michael Balogun have spoken well. A big bro. A guy spoke well. But the information I'll be given may be different from their perspective. My interest is us as tourism professionals. When we talk about media, when we talk about creativity, we talk about tourist destination promotion. As a businessman, it is very, very important for you to know that it is not about what everybody is doing. It is about you finding out or discovering how you want to do what you have to do. For instance, when I post pictures on my social media, I don't photoshoot. I don't. There's a word they use. I don't Photoshop. I leave my images original as they are. You see some people's Instagram pages, and some of those places I see that they post, I've been there, but the images they show is quite different from what they put on their Instagram pages. People get into trouble as a result of that. Someone may see an image that you post on your social media handle, and they fall in love with it, and they begin to ask themselves, is this actually in Nigeria? So they are interested because of the images you have posted. They give you the job, you organize the tour for them, and when they get to the site or the tourist destination, they realize that what is obtainable is actually different from what they saw on the internet. I want us to really take cognizance of that, because it is what I do. I don't Photoshop. I take picture and I leave it as it is, so that when you contact me that you want a tour for that particular destination, I give you 100% and I go the extra mile. But I do not paint the image of what is not obtainable.
You listen to what Otuba said on using the media to market Nigeria. What is your take on that? Because for him, it seems that particular area is not functional or has been a little bit on the low part.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. In that line, okay, I'll be promoting myself now. I'm building the first of its kind gallery in the whole of Africa, where you can travel You can travel from Abia State to Zamfara digitally without leaving your space inside the gallery. And there is a boat room where you will take a boat from Marina to anywhere there is any waterways in Nigeria. There could be rainfall, there could be thunderstorm, and you will feel everything inside the boat. That is on a personal level, and that is part of media, because we have some challenges in the country at the moment where you cannot move from one point to the other. So we need to be very creative. And to my astonishment, I recently came back to the country, and when they call us for boarding, there are over 80% of the people on that flight were foreigners. They were white faces. And when I got to the gate, I told my friend that we were traveling with that, no, this is not our flight, maybe another one. Until when they said, oh, Lagos boarding, I was weak. So those faces that are coming to Nigeria, or those people who are coming to Nigeria, maybe first time, maybe second time, have not actually experienced Nigeria. I was seated with Paula there. She's from Italy. She's only been to 3 states or 4 states in Nigeria, you know. And in our conversation, she loved to. But because of the security challenges, if you come to my gallery, you'll be able to see the whole of Nigeria by your fingertip. So in terms of media promotion, the more we sell ourselves, if you look at the music industry today, globally, Nigerians are in the forefront. That is the easiest way. If you look at Brazil, what made Brazil? It was Pele, football, that made Brazil. Now, unfortunately, the minister have left. This is the time for the government to key into culture. With our music, jollof rice is all over the world now. And whether you like it or not, there is, what is it called? Fight between Ghana, Senegal, and Nigeria. Who is the owner of jollof rice? I haven't said that, but whoever tasted the jollof rice will say Nigerian jollof rice is the best. There is nothing that can sell a country much more than culture. And for me, the media has a greater role to play. Every one of us who is a Nigerian have a role to play as well, because we are all writing our history. The only thing that is certain in this life is death. We're all going to die one day. That's the only thing that is certain. And after that, what will people say about you? You might jackpot to another country. What you do not realize is those countries do not respect you. America was built by Americans. Europe by Europeans. Asia by Asians. Nobody is going to develop Africa for us. Africans should develop Africa. Nigerians should develop Nigeria, because our parents, most of them, could have been rich. They sold their wares, their clothes, their jewelries for us to go to school. We got to the ladder, if you're 55 and above, we got to the ladder where Nigeria do not hold us a kobo. We should be giving back to Nigeria, not us asking Nigeria what Nigeria will do for us. Because we took that ladder away. The money some of us are making that we are using to send our children or everybody abroad, that money was made for us to enjoy the rest of our life. Unfortunately, we are not enjoying that life. But this is the time for us to promote Nigeria. Eat, drink, sleep Nigeria. If Nigeria should make it today, the whole of Africa will make it. Thank you.
Otunba, there is this saying that Nigeria is one of the most difficult places to market. Not because the facility is not there, the things to see are not there, but the fact that we have our challenges that have made it a bit on that difficult side. So for somebody who believes that the media and the creative arts have not done enough to project Nigeria as a destination, what will you say, or what will you put as postscript? Something that should be seen and taken by the people in the sector as what will help Nigeria market its destination.
Well, to be straight, I'll say we've not done enough in terms of collaboration and partnership. I really wish somebody somewhere in the Ministry of Information would take this home until we adopt what is called the Dutch Diamond approach, which has been some of the approach the Dutch has used for years to put their country together. We need to sit down with other collaborators, not just from the tourism sector. We are talking of the art and culture. We are talking of the information. We are talking of the tourism. Every stakeholder needs to sit down, and then we draw a map that will benefit everybody. Let me tell you, for instance, last year we were invited for the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo in Uganda, and the only thing I can remember growing up about Uganda was Idi Amin and the movie Raid on Entebbe. Until we got into Uganda, before I just realized like we're missing in Africa. What I saw in Uganda for that 10 days blew my mind. The way they've structured their country, they have the place called Kampala and the other one in Jinja. The Kampala is a place where you can go for safari. But with the Jinja, we had crazy fun. Like for the rest of my life, I don't think I've even enjoyed such activities in Nigeria. From whitewater rafting to zip lining to bungee jumping, quad bike ride in the safari. And these are things we can implement in Nigeria. And then when you now talk of the government and the media in terms of collaboration, look at our entertainment industry. Somebody like Davido has 24 million followers. He's from Osun State. It won't take a rocket scientist to figure out. Take Davido on a tour of Osun State. Show the waterfall. Show the tallest statue, the Moremi 42-feet statue. And let them see the world. Do a video around these things, not going abroad and wasting your time and showcasing somebody's destination. That is how media should be used to promote tourism. Look at the CNN every time. How many times have you even seen any adverts coming from Nigeria as a place of destinations? But you see truly Malaysia today, down in Australia, incredible India. Have you ever seen any adverts of Nigeria on any of those stations? No. Well, the only thing we see is short sound bites of Boko Haram and children being kidnapped. It is horrible. Half of the people that have followed on LinkedIn, they've told me directly that they've learned more of Nigeria through what I showed them. I'm happy the ambassador of Namibia is here, and we have partnership with other tour operators all across Africa. And I've seen the beautiful pictures of Namibia through just one friend of ours, Joseph Kafundu, because he has shown the beauty of Namibia. And we have seen Nigerians going because of what they see. Steve Jobs says you don't sell things to people without showing them what you're selling. People buy what you show them. So for the media, I think until the government realizes tourism alone is one of the lowest hanging fruit that they've not even tapped into. Croatia is so small. As of today, their population is 3 million. It's not even as close as Ikeja. But the only thing they've sold has been the Croatia tourism through Game of Thrones, to the extent that the government had to ban some cruise ship from coming because it became too much for them. They couldn't handle it. So if you look at a country that made 203 million in 5 years from just a Game of Thrones movie, then imagine all the movies we've shot in Nigeria. How have we used that to generate traffic, to promote tourism? That is where we should start looking at. Get people involved, let them, take politics out of it, and let them know, even if it's the musician, draw up a contract for every time you shoot a video, like MTN, all these people giving these artists 200, 300 million. Put a clause there for every time you shoot a video, promote one destination in Nigeria. I can show you images of some places on Elashe Beach that you think is Miami. But people don't see these things. Instead, we shoot videos in other countries to promote their climb. So I think we have a lot of work to do. And we individually should act as ambassadors for our country. The government shouldn't be held responsible for all this. Thank you.
Mr. Anago, you are in the media and you use more of the social media. How much of your social media have you used to promote Nigerian destination?
Thank you. When you look at the tourism industry, using Badagry as a case study. Now, when we talk about the media, I want to continue to maintain the stand that we as practitioners, we can do a lot. We really need the government, the ministries, Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Art. Indeed, we need them. But in the case whereby they are not forthcoming, at the moment that they are not forthcoming, we as professionals can make use of what we have. I use the media a lot. I've not seen any tourist destination in Nigeria that receive more visitors than Badagry. I've not. From February 20 to the end of March, Badagry every year, Badagry usually receives close to 20,000 students on excursion. I want you to take note of what I'm saying. From every year, from around February 20 to the end of March, Badagry usually receive students on excursion. More than 20,000 students, they visit Badagry on excursion. How do we do it? It is by we promoting Badagry, by word of mouth, using social media. We do, and we promote what we have. But as individual tourism professionals, you need to know and identify your own strength and use your strength. And you also need to know who your audience are. If you are able to get your audience, definitely, if you know who your audience are, you know the social media network to use. What I'm trying to say in essence is this. We need the government, but we as tourism professionals, let us look inward. I met someone who told me that he had been trying to reach a tour operator in Nigeria for a particular research work, and it's difficult coming by such. I understand, but we can continue, and hopefully the government and stakeholders can come together and we'll find a way out.
But for over how many years, we've never had a standalone Ministry of Tourism. It has always been shadowed with the Ministry of Information and all that. And for the first time that it's standalone now, I think the government will basically look at what we do. So they won't just put everything under creative industry and sector. And that's why we as tour operators, we've never had the shine. We've been in the trenches promoting the country, but nobody gets to hear our voice, but it has always been the creative industry. But standalone now as the Ministry of Tourism, I think they'll take us serious, and it's all for the good.
And for you, how will you react to that?
For me, it's good for the industry, so they can be more focused. And even though both ministries, you see, what would you say is culture? What would you say is tourism? Culture is tourism. Tourism is culture, But then, I believe the president knows what he's doing, but it is not a good thing to add information to it because that is completely different. The future is bright, and what I will tell the tour operators are, this is the best time to make money in Nigeria. There's a lot and lots of money to be made, but you have to be very creative about it. You need to talk to we visuals creators, because at the end of the day, what are you selling? And if you look what I've been doing personally, even Nigeria as a country since 1914 has never done it. And it has been good to me because I'm getting the financial rewards as well, and the recognition that it deserves. So there is still a lot to be done, and the future of Nigeria is bright, and people like us, like John the Baptist, those who are coming behind us are going to make it better. And when my gallery is ready, obviously all the tour operators of Nigeria will be very much aware of it. And it's a place, if you come to Nigeria and you have never been to the DAP Experience Center, you've never been to Nigeria, because everything Nigeria is in the gallery, and it's going to blow people's minds away. Best practice done in the world. Once you come into my gallery, it's like you are in another world. And we are taking over the whole street to make it really beautiful. So it won't just be you coming into a building and once you come out of the building, that's it. No. Thank you very much.
Thank you.